Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video that I have been plotting and planning together with my friend for a really long time. I'm going to be trying out a bunch of cult favorites that I've never, for some reason, tried before, and we are going to see if they are worth their cult status. Did I miss out? Did I miss out by not trying these things when they were the most hype? And this is also going to be a little bit of a, trip down memory lane. We are going to talk about modern renaissance. We're going to talk about that Nivea aftershave primer that people were using. We are going to be diving into a Kylie lip kit. This is going to be a bunch of fun, and if you haven't been here before, do consider subscribing before you leave because I do upload quite a lot of videos every week. So this video is in collaboration with my dear friend Heather Austin. I love Heather. We have been, how long have I known Heather? I think it's like 3 years at this point. Like, we are not just like friends within the community, we are actually friends. I spent Christmas with Heather. I celebrated Christmas with Heather. We were just on a vacation and I already have 2 trips planned with Heather in the future. And when I started hearing her talking about asking her community about cult favorites that she might not have been trying, because she mentioned that she had not tried the Milani Luminoso blush, which, spoiler alert, I've never tried that either. I remember that in my bucket of video ideas, I had a video idea that was about old cult favorites. So I hit her up and I said, what do you know? Why don't we do this idea that we both seem to have similar idea going on, and let's do it as a collab. So don't forget to check out Heather. She is an amazing makeup reviewer. She loves makeup just as much as me. She loves color, she loves having fun and not taking it too seriously. So definitely go and check her out. I will of course link her down below. I cannot recommend her channel enough. Okay, I think I have 5 products that I have never tried before, or if I've tried them, I at least do not have any kind of memory of them. And then I think it's around 5 products that I have tried that are cult favorites that are for one reason or another still in my collection. And I'm gonna let you know why you can still find these in my collection. So let's start with the product that I mentioned. I don't think this is the correct one. Listen, I was asking my husband, he's like, this is the one that men use, but he was like, but I don't know what that means in this the context of you using it as a primer, but this is what I could find. I don't feel like this is the correct one. This is the thing. Back in the days, I'm taking off my ring for this one. Let me actually scooch in a little bit. Back in the days, Nikki tutorials were raving about this one. Are you supposed to use it like this? That is a very manly smell. Woo. She was raving about using this one as a primer because it was a gripping primer, because it literally is just glycerin. It smells like my dad in the early 90s. This is just supposed to turn tacky so that you can use it as a primer. I think that the way that people love this primer probably birthed the idea of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, because that is a gripping primer that really makes your skin tacky and makes your skin hold on to makeup. I don't even know if this is the right one, but I really do think that the whole makeup community literally bursting into flames over the fact that there was a product out there that really gripped on to your makeup and made it stick to the skin and stay on the skin longer. I think that really started things in the boardrooms of makeup companies, making them realize that there was a fortune to be made in actually making that into a makeup product. And I would not be surprised in the slightest if that is the reason why we have so many gripping primers now. This is a little sticky, but not like the Hydro Grip, but it's a little sticky. Smell like a full man. I will say I don't understand why skincare products for men have to have that typical manly man smell. Like, do they not wear cologne? If they don't, maybe they should, because I'm like, this is scented. Like, I can sniff myself. It's scented. Besties, We're going into the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. I got mine in light beige, which is medium 0. Think this is gonna be a hint too dark, but we'll make that work. I do know that I've tried this, and this was hyped way back before 2016. A lot of these products are hyped products from the 2016 era, but I think this one, actually is from way back, because I remember being a teen using this, but using it all wrong. Because I was using one of those little triangle sponges and just scooping it out and just dragging it on my skin, and it looked like I just had like cappuccino mousse all over my face, and it didn't look good. But I actually heard, let's dig into this, I actually heard from Robert Walsh when we were talking on Twitter. He said that I should really give this one another go, but with modern techniques, because it actually is a pretty good formulation, but we were all just using it wrong back in the day, and I should give it another try. So I think that he and I have a somewhat similar skin type. I think that he has oily skin, but like a little bit dehydrated, and I have like a normal combo skin, but both of us need something that battles oils a little bit. Do you know how many stores I had to go to find this one? Oh my, I were at like so many drugstores, so many makeup stores trying to find this. Target doesn't sell it, H-E-B doesn't sell it, nobody has this foundation. I had to go to Walmart to find it. It was, I don't think that this is like a bestseller anymore, but honestly, I feel like this one could have a little bit of a renaissance now that we are getting into what the TikTok kids are calling cloud makeup. The rest of us are just calling matte skin. Okay, with the damp sponge, that is pretty good. I would say that this is a medium coverage. I'm sure you can build it up, but I do think that this product, I know from before, doesn't look the best built up. So I think like this, just a sheer layer to just even up my skin tone a little bit and get like a medium coverage, it's probably good. I do have a little breakout on my chin. Don't know what that came from, but we're gonna go in with the cement of all cement. This is a Tarte Shape Tape. This one I have tried from before, and this is actually a new tube. I actually re-bought this one because I was thinking, wait, am I gonna love this concealer if I wear it a little bit more like I am wearing concealers now, which is a lot less. I still do the triangle because that fits my face shape, but I don't do as much concealer. And when I started in the beauty community, when like Shape Tape was super hyped, I was already in my 30s, and this concealer was just so incredibly hyped. It's like people had never seen a full coverage concealer before. Honestly, the way that this concealer was just hyped beyond, you had to be there. You had to be there to see how this concealer literally was everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite. Everyone was loving Shape Tape, and if you weren't loving Shape Tape, it was the NARS creamy concealer. But the people that didn't love Shape Tape and that like were on the NARS, you kind of just assumed that they didn't have the Shape Tape yet, and they were like just using up their NARS because that one was an older concealer. It was honestly a little shocking how everybody was having this consensus that Shape Tape was the best thing that had ever happened to the beauty community. And I never really loved the Shape Tape, but I think the biggest problem is that I use too much. Because now that I use less, it looks great. It really looks great. And I think for me, I use too much and I use too much powder. The baking was wild. Baking under your eyes, baking on your cheeks. If I highlight here, I look square. There are so many things that I have learned about me, about my face, and about what I like since 2016. Crazy. Who remembers this? RCMA, the original no color powder. It still looks like a salt shaker. I can't believe how crazy people were about this. You got so much product, well, you still get so much product. It's a salt shaker. I never used this one. Another product that was super, super hype was the Laura Mercier powder. I just got powder everywhere. Love this for me. And that powder I did have and I did use. This is actually white. Okay, so I don't want to have too much on my brush because that's not good. We are just going to be using some under here. I think I'm going to be trying and setting bigger parts of my face because I kind of don't want to be super shiny since I'm having this Dream Matte Mousse foundation. People were crazy about this powder, and honestly, like, I've never tried it. This is my first time trying it. Honestly, I don't really know why I didn't try it. I think the main reason why I didn't try it, if I'm gonna guess, is that when I lived in Sweden, I had very normal skin, and I didn't really care that much about powder. Like, it was what it was. It's not until, like, me moving here in this past year where I'm actually, like, thinking a little bit about what powder is actually good and what powder actually makes sense. But is this better than any other powder? I don't know. It's not super blurring, but it definitely did its job. But it's super affordable and you get a lot of product, and I think that was the main thing. Like, it was a good powder at a really good price in a super huge packaging, and I mean, it looks nice. Next thing, I know that I have used this, but I don't know what I think of it, and this is actually the Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is unused. This one was sent to me by Benefit, and I know that I've had, this is the original Hoola, I know that I've had the Hoola in like a palette. So many people for the longest time were saying that Hoola was their absolute favorite bronzer. Everyone was loving Hoola. It was either this one or what was that other bronzer that everyone was talking about? The people were bananas over. Oh, the MAC Give Me Sun. That was like a warmer one, and I will say I actually had that and I really, really, really liked it. Oh, and the Laguna, of course, which I actually never have tried either. But for some reason, I never got around to really using this, but it is a nice bronzer. It is a little bit more like neutral reddish than I prefer. I prefer a bronzer that looks a little bit more yellow in the undertone. I feel like that fits my skin tone better, but like, it's definitely not bad. I'm just not... It's a nice bronzer. I still prefer my Fenty one. And I think that's the thing though. Were they less brands to choose from before? Yes. So when something was released or when something got hyped, it wasn't that many different things to choose from back then. So people were just going bananas. When someone loved something, there weren't that many bronzers to choose from, but now there is a million different brands. And I mean, it just is what it is. There are like literally bronzers being released every week. But in 2016, and even back in the days when this one was popular, that might be the only foundation being released that year. So everybody wanted to try it. It's just a different time now. Let's talk about the Milani Luminoso. I know specifically why I never tried this one. And the main reason is that when this one was the most hyped and everybody loved this, especially and Nikki Tutorials. She really, really liked this one. And when this one was at the... Ooh, that is pretty... When it was the most popular, Milani wasn't available in Sweden. So for me, it was pretty easy to say no to this one because getting this one for me meant jumping through quite a lot of burning hoops to either buy it to a PO box from the US or having to hunt it down in Europe and make sure that maybe I can ship it to Sweden somehow. It was just not the easiest, and honestly, that is really, really pretty. I gotta agree, that is the perfect formulation for a glowy blush. I'm sorry, I should have loved you earlier. So far, what do you know? And everything still smells like a man. It lingers. Now we're getting into something that is still in my collection, and I honestly think that this deserves the hype, and this is a new bottle because I have repurchased the MAC Fix Plus. I honestly think that this does a difference, especially when you are doing a matte foundation with powder on top, which I am doing today. Smells fresh. Maybe this can get rid of some of the some of the immense perfume that I was dealing with. I feel like this one really makes everything just melt together, and it makes your skin look like skin again and not so much matte foundation with powder on top, which is, I mean, what it is. And I will say that putting MAC Fix Plus on before going in with your highlighter to get that 2016-17 ET phone home signaling out of space kind of a glow was a good tip, because it made your skin a little damp again so that highlighter really could stick, because you wanted that like extraterrestrial glow. And few things were as hyped as the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop. This is still in my collection because there are a couple of things that I have in my collection that are old, but they remind me of a time before the beauty community kind of imploded on itself, and this is one of the products. I think this is a beautiful highlighter. This is available now with, is it Smashbox? Since Becca has gone under, I feel like this highlighter is available with Smashbox, and honestly, it is a beautiful product. It does a really good job, and it was definitely hyped for a good reason. I think Becca has a really impeccable formula. They were expensive, and for me, one of the problems with Becca was that they turned into a little bit of a one or maybe two trick pony, and we don't like, this is from 2016, 2015, like, is it 15? 16? I bought this when I was in New York because they didn't have Becca in Sweden at that point. I was in New York, and I remember when I saw this at Sephora in Times Square, and I was like, I can't believe this is in stock. I can't believe that I get to buy this. I was so excited. I was over the moon. I remember buying this, and I remember thinking, I am so lucky. So lucky that I was able to purchase this, and I took it home, and I love it. I love this highlighter. It really fits my skin tone. I think it looks beautiful, but it was just a different time. So rude. Do you remember the last time you bought a makeup product where you actually thought, I am so lucky that I got a hold of this? I wonder what other products I have in my collection that I felt like that. That could be a good video, maybe. Now that I think of it, would you like to see that? Products that I truly felt like I won spending my money on them. Because that is definitely one of them. This was kind of a main character in hyped makeup of the 2016 eras, and this is the Kylie Lip Kit by Kylie Jenner. I bought this one in Exposed 701. I have heard that this is reformulated since. That is beautiful color, and look how good that goes with my hair. Oh, I've heard that since this has been reformulated, and I've also heard that I'm lucky that it's been reformulated because the old formula wasn't all that. But I've also heard some people that loved the old formula and thought it was amazing. But I know I have a fleeting memory that I tried some of the liquid lipsticks from Kylie and actually kind of liked them back in the liquid lipstick era, but I never tried one of the lip kits, and I'm excited. Let's dive in. Do you remember how popular these were? People were literally buying glue out of eBay with the Kylie Jenner logo on it just to say that they had a Kylie lip kit. Literally gluing their lips together to say they had a Kylie lip kit. Wild times. I will say how light this is makes me a little worried. I was kind of wishing that the lip liner would be like just a hint darker, and maybe it is, but no, it's the same color. Maybe it's not too light. Maybe it's pretty. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's a Kylie lip kit. Okay, I'm not against it. Smell, not like a man. Listen, I'll take all the vanilla fudge cookie scents at this point. Okay, let's let that dry down and we'll see. But you know what? That is a really nice, almost muted pale terracotta nude. Not mad about that at all. Look at that. If I had a MAC paint pot, I would prime with that. That seemed to be the only thing that people were priming with, but I am going to be using my Sigma primer sticks. These are my favorite eyeshadow primers, and I really want to give this eyeshadow the best chance it can get. I can't believe I've never used this. I can't believe I've never used the Modern Renaissance. This is a brand spanking new one. I just bought it. But let's see. Let's see why this palette had the community in a chokehold for years. Ooh, bitch, I am ready. Bye. So here we are. There's a fresh brush in here. Listen, there's plastic in here. She is brand spanking new, and I can't believe people used to say this was a colorful palette. Let me just do this. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? It's like the it's like the Urban Decay Naked, but like a pink imposter. Okay, so I have owned a couple of these shadows as singles. I have owned Love Letter as a single. I have owned Burnt Orange, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure now that I think of it. I know that one Fresco was in another palette and I've used it. Also, can I show you something? Come. Let me show you something. Do you know what I got as a gift with purchase when I bought that palette? Do you know how bad they want this palette gone when they're giving this away as a gift with purchase? It's the Riviera palette. I opened my box and I was like, did I buy this? Was I drunk? No, I didn't. It was a gift with purchase. They're really trying to get rid of that one. So, are we gonna do This As Bright As Possible? Yes. So let's start with this one. This is Realgar. Is that not the name of one of the dragons in like Game of Thrones? I don't think that that's true, but somehow it makes sense. Ooh, I do really love the ABH mattes. I think they are pigmented and blendable and buildable, and for me, they are wonderful. I can see though, for someone who doesn't want super dramatic looks, that they might be maybe a little bit too pigmented if you're like a little bit unsure. But yeah, I really love these shadows. Let me put this in my crease and under my eyes as well. Let me even use the brush from the palette because, I mean, that is what it's meant for. Also, 2016 and 2015 and even 17, like these were the years for undisclosed sponsorships and undisclosed ads. And I kind of have to say, let's go in with Love Letter, which is the bright pink. I have to say, I'm so happy that we are not there anymore, that we're not doing that. Although I will say that we still see people doing, I feel like it's moved on now. Like it's on TikTok and Instagram. I see so many undisclosed affiliate links and affiliate codes on TikTok and Instagram. It's honestly shocking. And it's not that hard. Just put affiliated underneath. I mean, everyone can forget every now and then, I guess. I'm sure I've done that too. But I do see a lot of that. I actually saw someone on YouTube taking a sponsorship by a brand that I declined because they were claiming all kinds of weird scientific stuff about their products, and I'm like, there is absolutely no science behind this. And when I asked them, because they were saying it was backed by science, and when I asked them what science, they ghosted me. They ghosted me, and now I actually saw, I was just watching a video and this person was sponsored by them, and I'm like, okay. There you go, there you go. And I'm not saying I'm better than them, I'm just saying that everybody asks different questions, and I don't think that they were suspecting someone to be like, where's the peer-reviewed data that you're talking about? Can you link me to your article? They didn't. The way that every eyeshadow palette in the world had a pinky red matte after Modern Renaissance was popular, and every eyeshadow palette in the whole world had a matte orange after 35O was popular. Honestly, shocking. Honestly, shocking. Every palette apparently needed its own love letter. That is effortless, that is beautiful. I don't want to say I'm shocked because I'm not. I knew that this was good eyeshadows, but still, like, when you get it, you almost get a little shocked. Should we do this one? And then maybe Tempera, which is like an almost matte. An almost matte shadow. I kind of want to do this and just do the Venetian red with this one, because it's more of a like almost a satin than it is a metallic, and I kind of want to keep it that way and not try and foil a satin. Usually I spray my brushes, and someone was really telling me off today in my comments because I was using my finger instead of spraying a brush, and she was saying that I was a liar for not liking the eyeshadow. I mean, if you don't believe what the reviewers say, you're always free to go out and purchase the product and try it out yourself. I always tell you how I feel about a product, and if I don't like it, I will let you know, and maybe you'll feel different about a product. And honestly, for me, that is perfectly fine. Listen, if you buy a product and you love it, even though I didn't, that's amazing. That's good news for you, because it means that you spent money on something you enjoy while I spent money on something I didn't enjoy. You're the winner and I'm the loser. There's no point in being upset with people. I will never understand it. This is a very impressive eyeshadow palette. I really see why this became so hyped. Again, this was the time when eyeshadow palettes wasn't that popular. There were not that many eyeshadow palettes to choose from. There is a reason why the Naked palette became so popular, and it is not because it was the most revolutionary color scheme ever, or that it was just formulas that nobody has ever seen before. It's because it wasn't that many eyeshadow palettes to choose from. Not that big, not with that many shades. And when brands started doing curated palettes that was more than a quint, people were living for it, loving it, eating it up, really enjoying it. So for this one to be as hyped as it is, which is a neutral palette with a couple of unusual pops for the time, I'm not surprised. Especially not when it's this quality. This is beautiful. Honestly, it's beautiful. I don't hate it at all. Is it revolutionary for this time? No. But back then, when there were like, what, 3 really hyped eyeshadow palettes, if even that, coming out per year, it was a big deal when a brand was releasing an eyeshadow palette. I'm trying, even though I'm using like cult favorites from past times, I'm trying to do this look in a way as I would do my makeup today, so I'm not doing a black winged liner, even though we all know if you didn't do a winged liner back in 2016, were you even doing makeup at all? Like, didn't even count? Debatable. This I have tried before, and these are actually some of my favorite lashes of all time. I always have a fresh pair of House of Lashes Iconics at hand at all times. They truly are worth the hype if you're looking for some dramatic lashes, and some that are really easy to put on and honestly really easy to manipulate on the lash to make them look any way you want to, because they're not super curved, which is something that I prefer because I feel like they're easier to put on. I really like the Iconics. I'm gonna take some off. But do you remember how these just literally broke the internet? Wait, let me get my scissors. I love that I don't have any small scissors anymore, so we're just going in with these like kids scissors. And I'm cutting up quite a chunk because I don't want these lashes to be too long. I realized that I actually don't love that. That's not what I love in a lash. So I tried to take some off to make them again look and feel the way that I want them to look and feel. And I'm still using dual glue. I used the green dual glue. I don't know if you can see because mine is very well used. It is latex free and I am sensitive towards latex. And if you are too, this is affordable lash glue at the drugstore and it is latex free and it is just as good as the high-end ones. But I remember the big gurus at the time like Jaclyn Hill, Desi Perkins, who else was popular at the time? I don't know, Crispy. I remember a lot of them like going crazy over this lash, selling it out, and the brand was just, you know, sending them buckets of this lash because they were probably making this brand a lot of money. And I will say, I feel like this lash brand, I don't know if they fell off or if they just don't have as much of a social media presence anymore. Because I rarely hear anyone, including myself, including myself, talk about their news. Because like, are they not sending out PR to like Trend Mood and like nobody's really using their lashes anymore? And I wonder why that is, or if they just did not keep up with the trends with lashes. Because I feel like right now, half lashes are really having a moment. And I'm not saying that because I love half lashes. I see a lot of like younger girls and guys and TikTok as well just doing half lashes, and I'm surprised to see because I actually did go in and look, and last time I looked on their site they didn't have anything like that. So I don't know if they're just not keeping up really or like what's going on, but yeah, it's one of those brands that they kind of not disappeared but like a little bit. They didn't disappear, but their presence in the beauty community literally went from to wait. Were they always this hard to get on? Were they always this hard to get on? Because this band is so thick. That was... like, I like them to be, like, standing up. But this was a struggle. I guess this is one of those lashes that you have to break in to be able to, like, really get good use out of. I don't remember them being this hard to use. I guess lashes have come a long way. I'm gonna bend this in. What do you know? What do you know? Because maybe this is why we all did so much, like, liner. This one went better. Am I going to redo this one? Because we were trying to cover up our wonky lash application. That could be it. Okay, these lashes, I used to love them, but now, using them in 2023, I'm like, these are kind of stiff. And not that great. Not all that. Maybe this is why. Because lash brands were looking at House of Lashes and they're like, we could do this better. You know, just as indie brands were looking at mainstream brands' eyeshadows and just like, we can do this better. These lashes, they're stiff. They're not comfortable and they're not as pretty as I remember. Maybe you need to break them in because I do remember them being prettier than this. But I mean, this was a fresh pair and they were just too stiff. That's not what she said, but you get what I'm coming from. I like this makeup look. I think everything in this makeup look was high quality, except the lashes that for some reason just didn't work for me. Even that's something that I used to love and like use and love. This one, like I said in the beginning, I think this was just a catalyst for what's to come with primers. There was nothing wrong with this, but I think that this gave makeup companies a thinker. What could we do in the future? And I will say, I'm so surprised at how good my skin is looking. That blush, amazing. The bronzer, not that bad now that everything came together. The highlighter is stunning. It really was worth being hyped. This foundation, I will be using this foundation more. I am surprised at how beautiful this foundation is looking. The powder is nice, but nothing special. I think we've come further with powder since then. Again, there wasn't that many things to choose from, and there really was a scarcity when it came to affordable loose powders, and I think that's one of the reasons why this one was so hyped, because loose powders usually were from Sephora brands and a lot more expensive than they were. Lip kit, it's nice, but it's because it was Kylie Jenner. There's nothing wrong with this one, but I'm like not blown away. But liquid lipsticks were so hyped back in 2000, whatever years this came out, that everyone was wearing matte liquid lipsticks. And if they were wearing glossy, they were still doing a liquid lipstick underneath and a gloss on top. I know, extra. The eyeshadow palette, it's nice quality, it's good quality. Again, had this come out today, it would have never received anything close to this kind of a hype as it did. The reason why it did is, like I said, imagine a time where there weren't that many eyeshadow palettes to choose from. And this is probably one of the reasons why the Naked palette became so hyped as well, because you didn't see these bigger palettes in like Sephora. Nobody were really doing bigger palettes like that, and it really started a trend with curated eyeshadow palettes in a time where most people were just buying MAC singles or really affordable quads or quints from the drugstore, or like luxury quads and quints. There wasn't like really that many palettes to choose from, unless you were getting those really big rainbow palettes from either BH Cosmetics or eBay. Remember those? I had those. Those weren't that great. Listen, rainbow palettes were far and few between, and I understand why they were as hyped as they were, but if you were to try those now, they really weren't that good. I hope you liked the video, and don't forget to check out Heather's video down below. I honestly had so much fun filming this video and had so much fun like planning this video. Please let me know what were the like cult favorites of before that you either never tried or maybe you did. Would you like to let me know what you think about them now? Do you think that some of these things would have been cult favorites if they were released today? I honestly think that if they were to release this one today in new packaging, they would have a smash hit on their hands. I hope you're having an amazing day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow with a new video. Bye!